being in the industry, I didn't come from the industry, I'll let you know that. I always knew and understood our Second Amendment rights. I grew up in New Hampshire, live free or die, important. But I noticed, it's getting more aggressive out there for our gun rights, and so I've been putting words down in notes all summer long, and you hear things like, oh, I'm going to come take your ARs, I'm going to come take your AK-47s, and there was a time where like, oh, we'll never confiscate those. I'm never going to do that. Well, I don't believe them, and you shouldn't either. So I put all these words together. I don't usually do it this way. I like to memorize, or I like to swing from the hip, but I think these words and this message is so important that I wrote it down, so please excuse me if I do peeking at them. But today I want to bring you a message that is so urgent and so important that I hope when you leave here today that you bring it home to all your friends and your loved ones. I hope that you practice it every single day of your life. And it's what our nation really needs. It's love. It's what's missing. Okay? And I bet some of you thought I was going to make this whole thing about the Second Amendment. Well, I kind of am. We all understand the importance of our armed citizenry. It is the great balancer. Right? The people, they have to fear the government a little bit because otherwise we'd be lawless, right? It can be pretty lawless. But the government, it must fear its people, too, or it will become tyrannical. And the reason is because strength is respected, right? To secure peace, to prepare for war, there's a lot of truth to that. And it has always been a basic truth. And here's the other basic truth. The world is not kind to weak people, right? It has never been, and it never will be. So your first responsibility, especially all of you little guys up there, your first responsibility is to make yourself strong. And your second responsibility in life, once you become strong, is to help others become strong. And we are not weak people, right? We have the strength of intelligence to know our rights. And we have the strength of body and skill to employ those rights if it ever came to that. However, having said that, right, there's also another inherent responsibility of being strong, and that is to practice extreme restraint until you absolutely cannot wait any longer. To practice your kindness and to practice your love. This is what I've been thinking about as being the path to becoming virtuous, because weak people, they can't be virtuous. Weak people can't, right? They have no teeth. They have no teeth, they can't enforce it. And being virtuous means you have the power to hurt others, but you made a conscious decision not to do that. Therefore, only the strong can be virtuous. And many of our Second Amendment opponents out there, they're suffering from ignorance. Many of them do not understand their rights. They don't even know what their rights are. It's crazy. They don't even know what they are. I couldn't tell you, right? But it's not really from a place of hate or malice, right? And I'll tell you, we can help a lot of them. We can't help all of them, but we can help a lot of them. We can lead by example, like real leaders do. In fact, it's our responsibility, it's our virtuous responsibility to do so, to use our patience, our restraint, our love to help as many United States citizens as we can to help wake them up to why our rights are so important. And this is the harder path, right? It's easier to dig in, it's easier to fight, it's easier to call them stupid liberals or gun haters, right? It's easier to do that. But it's easier to write them off. But if you look inside your soul, you look inside yourself, it's not the right thing to do. That's not what we do. That's not what good people do. And it's not okay. Even if they're doing it to us, even if they're mistaking kindness for weakness, even if they're frustrating us with their lack of understanding and their emotional knee-jerk reactions. If you choose to do this, I promise you, and it's 100% true, the pen meaning your well thought out, logical, patient words, okay, are mightier than any sword. Does anybody know who Sun Tzu is? He's the greatest military mind ever. And he states right up in the beginning of his book, the number one way to defeat your opponents is to make them your friends. This way, everybody wins. There's no attrition. And it may mean you never even have to use the sword. And believe me, if that happens, we'll all be happy for it. That's the right path. And I was telling this to my sons the other night. I was putting him to bed. I'm practicing this in my head and thinking about it. And I was telling him the same thing. And I was putting my oldest to bed. And he looks up to me and says, "Dad, I promise to always be kind until I can't." And it kind of brought a little tear to my eye. And I tipped out to the door and I go to shut the door. And I hear, "Dad?" So I go back in there, open the door. "Yes, Forrest." It's like, "I do have another question." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" Sometimes he draws up that time. Right? So he says, "If the pen is really mightier than the sword, then what's the sword for?" It got me for a second, and I stood there and I thought, and I looked him in the eye and I said, "Son, the sword is for when they take your pen away. Let's make sure that never happens." Okay? So when we get out of here, you've heard me say this before, the pen today is social media, it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Twitter, and we can defeat the ignorance, we can defeat the misinformation out there by showing people what good guys with guns do. That this is family-based, that this is good people-based, and we can do the right things. And we are doing the right things. So, thank you.